Alright, so apparently the PlayStation Vita has been hacked. What's up, guys? Welcome back to TheReviewSpace, and today I just want to discuss some PS Vita news. And yes, apparently, reportedly, the Vita's been hacked by some dude named Yifan Lu, and now it's supposedly able to load homebrew software. Okay, well, this is like 2005 all over again, when the PSP was hacked, the PlayStation Portable. Oh, 7 years later, we got the same thing happening to the PS Vita. Now here's the thing though, here's the thing with this whole Sony products getting hacked, and then, you know, product sales going down, and all this stuff, all these controversies. Why is it such a big deal when it happens to Sony? Why is it always the focus that it's always on Sony? The focus is always, when it happens to Sony, people make a big deal out of it. Like, oh my god, Sony got hacked again! And look at Sony, and ha ha ha, and all this pointing the finger and blaming, and this consistent blaming Sony. This consistent thing that, you know, putting down Sony like it's their fault. Or people are happy, you know, these pathetic losers that are happy that Sony products are getting hacked. It's not good to lose sales over stuff like this, you know, if it does affect sales, which happened with the PSP. And you got these homebrew titles, you got all these different things going on, that cuts the sales. That is unfortunately part of the problem. Now, I'm not necessarily against taking your own hardware that you bought and paid for and, you know, experimenting around with it and opening it up and just switching things around, making it do more things, getting the most out of your system, even if you have to do it yourself. That's the problem, though, is that it affects the sales. It affects the hardware sales, game sales. So it's not going to sell as much, and the companies aren't going to make as much money. So it's kind of bullshit that way. You kind of want people to at least honestly, you know, spend some cash on these games and make some money so that the companies in turn can make more games. Or at the very least a chance to create quality entertainment, instead of just, okay, now we got a hack system. Now we hacked the PS Vita, and now we're just... This guy, Yifan Lu, I mean, I don't know what he's gonna do with the code or whatever. I don't know if he's gonna spread this information around and just share it with every, you know, corner of the globe, to the point that everybody can now hack their PS Vitas. And so, if you do that, it's possible to, I guess, maybe run these games for free, just like with the PSP. I don't know, man, because I'm not a part of the hacker culture. I don't know really much about hacking. That's the thing, is like, it's a big deal, and Sony gets the blame for it. It really shouldn't be, the blame shouldn't be on the company, it should be on the freaking people that are doing this. But at the same time, I mean, I think all of us have downloaded music, and it's sort of similar, where you're getting something for free that is, you know, you're supposed to actually spend money on it. I mean, it's... You put money in the pockets of the companies, whether, you know, musicians, whatever, you know, a pop star or a rapper or whoever. You want to spend money on these things, but unfortunately, now we're at that age where it's like you can even do this to current gen games now. Especially with systems from Sony, where you got these hackers that are now creating these homebrew things. Pretty soon you're gonna have free PS Vita titles, probably, and now people are just gonna be, they're not gonna buy PS Vita stuff, and they're just gonna be hacking. That's another thing, though. What's the size of the population? Like, how many people actually do this stuff? To the point that it actually does affect the sales. In my opinion, I honestly think the PS Vita just doesn't sell that much to begin with. I mean, give me a break, the PSP... You know, Sony said, okay, it's because the PSP was hacked that they didn't sell as much. Yeah, but the PSP was a PlayStation Portable. It's not the DS. It's not a Nintendo system. The DS was popular, hacked or not. You know, it followed the lineage of the Game Boy Advance, these high-selling handheld consoles, because Nintendo puts out quality games. A lot of titles and these exclusives, and it's a tried and tested, proven formula for Nintendo. So even if they get hacked, they still sell a lot. PSP, on the other hand, is more like, I almost want to say PSP is a cult handheld, to be honest, because yeah, it sold in the millions, but it wasn't nearly as popular as, it didn't sell as much as the DS. And we're seeing the same pattern with the frickin' 3DS and the PS Vita. PS Vita is not nearly selling as much as the 3DS. Even though technologically it's more advanced, you know, better graphics and everything, it's just a stronger system. So I think there's many different reasons why sales go down. It's not just, okay, it got hacked, so let's blame the hackers. I do think that hacking does affect certain sales. Like, if you can get games for free, obviously you're gonna wanna get it for free instead of spending whatever, like $30, $40, $50, $60 on a freaking, you know, PS Vita title. If you can get it for free, I don't blame you if you want to get it for free and download it and you know, on a hacked PS Vita. I understand that. I don't know, it's just, my god, it's a whirlwind, it's like a shitstorm, and it's getting worse. And for Sony, they keep getting hacked, and you know, the PSN getting hacked, and people's information getting leaked, the PS3 itself getting hacked, all these things. That's just, Sony has to change. They gotta make a system that is completely unhackable. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but they should make a much stronger system. Anyway, it's just bad for the PS Vita. They're not selling as much as they should be, but there's so many different problems with Sony. I don't even know why they put out a PS Vita. You know, they lost the PSP DS wars of the last generation. Why are they still in the handheld business? Like, why is Sony still trying? I mean, I appreciate that they have a really powerful handheld console, but it's like, why even bother? You know, just focus on the freaking home consoles. Focus on the PS3 and the PS4. Like, why dick around with a handheld when you know Nintendo has it locked down? They're the ones who are like dominating the business. So why even compete with the monsters? It's just bad business, I think, and Sony needs to they gotta step it up. Okay, pull out of the handheld business, because you know these people just want to keep hacking it, and sales are gonna go down. They're gonna blame the hackers all over again, and it's just a cycle of bullcrap. It's just a cycle of blame, pointing the finger at the other guy. You know what? That's it for this episode of Review Space. Until next time, ciao.